go. So I go upstairs and the girls are gone, and I didn't get a text message or anything. So I'm like, what's the plans today? Like, what the heck's going on? Da 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 da. And it turns out that Rory had slept until about an hour ago, which is a hair under 12 hours of sleep. And even though her fever broke and everything, she's still got a cough that sounds like there's like spider webs in her lungs. I
hate that. That's the worst.
And she's still leaking from her face. And we did COVID test or whatever. So, but the problem is, it's just you can't really send the kid to school like that right now. It's not really allowed. So she's gonna be kept home again today. I didn't ask Brittany how she was. I just called to be like, where are you? You know, like what is going on? I just feel bad for Rory because both Brittany and I, even though we're home today, we're both working all day. Like Brittany technically starts work in 2 minutes, but you know, she'll catch up after that. So it's like, okay, Roars, you're gonna be home with us, but we're not like playing. Okay, like we got stuff we got to do all day. I'm on conference calls until
hopefully she can get some rest.
Yeah, I got a conference call from 11:30 till I think 6:30. I think it's 11:30 to 6:30. I think that's what it is. So, anyways,
man, I never have. I have violent hiccups, but they're never that persistent. Like I can usually get rid of them pretty quickly. They're just very violent.
If I have hiccups in the morning, I'm gonna get them 3 times today. That's
wow.
where it goes. If I get them in the middle of the day, I'll get it twice. But if I get it in the morning, I will get it 3 times today before I go to bed tonight. No question.
God, guys, ghosts aren't real. Superstitions are bogus. But if I get hiccups once, I will get it 3 times a day.
I mean, evidence happens. I mean, watch Lost Edition of tonight just to find them hiccups. All right. Cool. Let's get. Oh, and for chat.
Yeah.
Do you want to see my pussycat?
Hey.
Oh,
It's like, why am I being held?
Oh,
I think my cat...
That is a very adorable cat.
I love her little pink nose. I think my cat enjoys beard rubs
She's got
as well.
socks.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah.
You got little socks.
Yeah.
Oh, fingerless socks.
Yeah, she's a big fan of Lonely Island. And she likes boiled goose and everything, so. Sorry, it was a reference.
This is a very
to that
pretty
song.
cat.
Yeah, she's pretty. Pretty annoying. I keep hoping next time she gets out, sneaks out of the house, and a fox gets a nice, happy dinner. But no.
You monster.
Well, she's lived a full, happy life. You know, she's. She
can continue living a full, happy life.
Or she can fill a fox's belly, and they can live a happy life. You know, just saying.
Monster.
Right. Just saying. All right, let's get back to it. Let me turn this heater off. Okay, cool. Where were we?
Why is Neil not an officer? Why is Tristan not an officer?
Oh.
No, that's right. They're waiting for They're waiting on the AC. Yeah.
That's right. So you're waiting for the Arcane Congress and for the field commander to come in or whatever, in concern of fog and blah 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 blah. So I would say probably like a good 15 minutes. So she would be like she would say, well, first thing we're gonna need to do is you need to clean yourself up after you're done getting this scenario cleaned up. We're gonna have to move the bodies to finally have things situated. You've already documented the entire scenario. I'm accepting your documentation. We're going to have to move the bodies downstairs to have things start to be cleaned up. But leave these ones in here. We're going to watch the COW to see things as they are. I wish you hadn't gone and opened them up yet, because they're not going to be very happy to see that there's been modification to the scene. Nonetheless, leave it as it is. we also need to set up a bit of an office, if you will. I think there was an office downstairs for this establishment. We can use that desk. You can finish writing your reports there, and I will be found there if you need me in the meanwhile. She looks at Tristan and says, I assume you can handle the outdoors? And then she kind of like turns her head sideways the other way to look back at you and shakes her head and says, no. You're exhausted. Both of you are.
We've not rested properly since we destroyed the Black Knight headquarters.
Nods, says, I can appreciate that. Unfortunately, for the BT here, you are, you've gone elbow deep into the scenario. You are not going to have time to rest. But, Champion, you go find a room that is far enough removed from the situation into odor that you can probably catch some sleep. You're going to need it.
Tris would glance at the BT.
Viggo nodded. I mean, it's superior, more or less telling you what to do.
Tris would say, thank you.
Okay. So about
Viggo's gonna hit himself with the that, which is his last second level spell thing, and he will lesser restoration potion.
Okay. And then the about an hour later, after like Pan walked out, she walked that whole thing. So about an hour later, finally Pan returns with a member of the Arcane Congress with her. They're gonna come walking in. Obviously you don't. They come walking into the scenario. Kind of introduce themselves, et cetera, et cetera. But jumping to it, they go, "All right, now, where's the body?"
No, Viggo would tell them where it is.
Okay, you go up and show them the room, and they go, "Oh, these have been processed." Mind you, they're all covered. They're all covered up now at this point. But despite the fact that they're covered up, they say this line.
Yep.
That's it. Leaves it there. Okay. All right. Now, from what I understand, you are casting. You want the casting a spell. Oh, what are these two bodies? Which one is it?
We'd point out the LC.
Yep. So you put Velphine, and they look at it and say,
the other commander lady's with him right now, right?
yes.
Sorry, Yolanda.
Yep.
Cool. Just making sure because we need to have them there.
So they say, all right, well, it's going to take a few minutes for me to cast the spell. I do want you to understand, at the end of the casting of the spell, you're going to be able to ask your questions 3. Understood. Now, you might not like the answers that you get. These answers will be honest. This could go one of a few different ways, really. The questions will be, the answers will be honest, but they might be a bit cryptic. They might try to shroud the answer in a way that's going to make it more difficult to process. But more importantly, the body very well may choose not to answer. It very well may choose it doesn't want to. You see, the way that it works is that the closer the person casting the spell's morals align with the individual that the spell is being cast on, the more likely it is the spell functions. The less similar the two of them are, the less likely it is to function. I find it highly unlikely that some treacherous slag is going to have a similar moral structure to myself.
Answers all the questions flawlessly.
Viggo turns to the battle centurion and he says, she may not tell us what we need to know, but the battle commander, on the other hand, could point out his murderer. I'll leave it up to you, battle centurion, but we might get more accurate information if we talk to the battle commander himself.
She frowns at that and says, I do not know the battle commander's faith. Then there's like a roll sense motive. You can see that there's like, it's like as she says the words, she like realizes, like, maybe that's not entirely, like, realizes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it like one of those? Well, I mean, I don't know what kind of car they drive. Oh, wait, it's a green truck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Do you say anything?
You are familiar with the battle commander. He looks at her, giving her a knowing look, kind of thing.
Well, I don't know the specifics of his faith, but I do know that he serves Lady Aravel, as we all do, of course. And then it's like, you know, threshold, take me to the threshold, like in unison from everybody. And so she says, he does serve Lady Aravel, first and foremost. And the tenets of Lady Aravel's faith do suggest that you follow command. One could extrapolate that he would be willing to continue to serve, not just in life, but after death as well. And she looks to the gnome from the Arcane Congress, who's just kind of like shuffling through their belongings, does not seem to give a shit at all.
Yeah. Well, Viggo is asking, like, he flat out asked her. So it's her decision. She's the commanding officer here now.
Yep. So he lets
He's going to make the hard decision.
Yep. She stops and says, "I don't think this is something that we can decide on. We're going to have to either get the COW involved or speak to his spouse."
And send someone to fetch them quickly. Sorry. I will send somebody to fetch them quickly. Can I have their name?
His spouse
Yes.
nods. Frederick.
Okay. I will go downstairs and ask one of the guys to go fetch Frederick.
Yep. So get the commander's spouse, and so they will. This is one of those, sir.
Oh God.
What? Wait, what? Sorry, I was
You're telling them that they're gonna have to go give the news. You're
yeah.
like that.
Yep. He gets a hand on the shoulder. You know.
Oh, that poor.
A few of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Oh God. Oh, okay. All right. So the okay. Well, luckily that happens off scene.
Oh boy.
All right. So let's because that's going to take, unfortunately, more time, as the Arcane Congress member looks back at you after like a good 30 minutes pass and says, "I don't understand why we're waiting."
Sorry.
Actually, no. The commander is there. She's in command. She gave the order. Let's let her answer.
She's not a commander. She's a centurion. To be
She's
clear,
the commanding officer here.
Yeah.
She is in charge.
So she he says, "I don't understand why we have to wait," and she looks to them and says, "We need permission before we defile the body. I don't understand how this is defiling. We're pulling somebody's spirits back from. It's necromancy." She says, just kind of like it's necromancy, and he's like, "No, it's not. It's divination." And that goes over her head.
That's great. But I love that this guy's just like, I highly doubt this traitorous person is.
I kind of like this gnome. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Great.
She's like, "Listen, we're not about to go ahead and defile the corpse just because it's beneficial for us. We need to at least have permission from a loved one, for this matter. He looks at you and says, wasn't it you that also suggested that you got permission from the Centurion of War? So that sounds more like you just want to hand off the responsibility rather than actually make the decision yourself. And she looks down at them.
Is fucking... God damn.
Looks down.
Well, I mean, Viggo agrees with the guy to an extent more than he does with the...
There's just a guard in the background who's ooh.
She looks down the nose at them and says, you can wait. And he shrugs and says, I get paid by the hour. And that's where I'm sure Viggo has an opinion.
Well, I got the first hour covered. We'll have to get the barracks to knock up the rest.
He looks and says, I want to make sure that we have this solidified. Every additional hour that I am here, I'm getting paid another 35 gold pieces. We understand this.
That's not too bad. That I expected a lot worse.
Yeah. Well, this is out of Viggo's hands now. You know, she has taken command of the situation.
So you were going to.
I'm led. There would be out of place for me to interject.
You go ahead and roll a diplomacy check, not for words, but for like staying silent and looking at like the perfect spot on the wall off to the side.
Oh,
keep it.
It's really interesting. This grain of wood.
It's an 18.
Okay.
It's fun.
Yeah, he's fine with the 18. So there's a lingering silence. He says, right? And she'll look back and say, 35 gold. Sit tight, gnome. Things will be handled shortly. And when she says gnome, he raises a big bushy eyebrow at her. And he says,
listen here, Perrin.
Yeah. He says, then I will sit tight, I suppose. And goes and
a lot of
pulls out
money
a
just
notebook.
to be doing nothing.
Things get awkward. She turns and leaves the room. She turns and leaves the room to go back to her office. He looks back at Viggo and says, you seem comfortable with the magic.
No, I'm an alchemist.
Nods, understanding. That's a science that I'll never fully understand. It bridges the gap. It's strange enough. And he leans over and says, it is, in fact, necromancy, but you know.
I literally just read what Saga said at that exact moment.
I mean,
that was so good timing.
I have the tab open for the spell. I know.
Viggo does laugh at that one. He's trying to... Viggo, he's caught between a rock and a hard place, right? He cannot stand wizards, but we need them right now.
Yep.
Yeah. They're useful.
Yep.
Magic is very useful. It's just...
And this guy is likable, which is annoying me.
But
It's
no,
okay.
that's just, honestly, I'm pleased to see a likable gnome. I feel like they've been grossly misrepresented.
Put it this way.
In Aurorum.
It's an entire organization. There's got to be some good ones in there.
No, it's just the AC that's misrepresenting them, not gnomes as a race. You just don't really deal with regular gnomes. But
yeah, sure. Gnomes and AC are separate, sure.
I mean,
we
they are.
Unfortunately, we've only really dealt with gnomes in the context of the AC.
Yeah, they're totally separate.
That's like saying that the women's network symbol is Tesha's fault because he's Australian.
Yeah, I think it's the government of the it controls their government.
Tesha's the model. He was standing there.
Oh God.
Did you get the curl?
Let's move on.
Really changes the meaning of pee-pee, doesn't it? It's now penis perm. I think Scott's dying off screen.
All right.
One thing
Oh, he
Viggo
might have
would
been
do
letting
is
the cat out.
he would go over the questions, the three. He'll go over two questions that he have, and he'll ask, if, like, in the context of the spell, if they're able to be answered, or I need to rephrase them, or. So the first one, more or less, is like what happened here.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one we want to know is about the guy who killed him, if he knows him or any of that type of stuff. You know what I mean?
The wording of the first one was I was saying it would need to be like, what exactly happened here up until the moment of your death, in this room up until the moment of your death.
So going to the gnome, then the gnome would say, well, the way that you want to phrase a question is very much dependent on who it is that you're asking the question. For instance, what happened here. If this person is going to try to make your life difficult, if I'm forcing the spell to work on them rather than them being willing to answer the spell, then they're going to give you the most cryptic answer possible. For instance, what happened here? They can say murder and leave it like that. And it becomes a useless spell, in which case you want to get a little bit more specific of your question for a more specific answer. Whereas if it's somebody that wants to see you succeed, you can say what happened here, and they can give you details like, we were ambushed by a group of 3 individuals that clearly were focused on killing such and such. Unfortunately, we all seemed to die at the same time, whatever, what have you, based off of the order of execution. That's assuming the person lived long enough to get the finer details. You understand what I mean? So it depends on who you're asking for how you want to ask it. So your first question is very dependent on who you're asking. And the second question you had was?
If he knew the person who killed him or had any way
I would actually, that question is a little bit too specific. You want to make that one a bit more vague. Can you give me details of the person that assaulted this, that sort of a thing? Because if you're saying if you know them, it could be a simple yes or no, then you're left useless. But give me details, then if they know their name, they could tell it to you, or the way that they've dressed, or any other signifying factors. So you want to be more or less vague depending on who it is that you're asking and how amicable they are going to be in giving the answers. Understand?
Yeah. Yep.
He nods, and he says, usually precasting advice costed a little bit extra, but we'll keep that other bit between me and you.
I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Professional courtesy.
He nods. Likewise. Okay, and let's actually cut over to the to Tesh.
Oh, okay.
You're standing there, and eventually you receive a messenger comes in and says, who's in charge here? As they come approaching the door.
So this is the up and because I've got the body in the room with the closed door, and there's no way into that room at all.
Yeah, just that one door.
And there's no windows or anything in there. Because if I remember right, okay, cool. Just making sure there's no possible way. He would have made sure there's no possible way into that room before he stepped outside that door. So he'd be on the outside of the door then, if that's the case. If that room.
Wait, you were staying in the room with the body, just like hanging out with the corpse the whole time?
Only if there was other ways into the room. If there isn't, then he would be at the door.
Yeah. I imagine you're in the offices.
Yeah, cool. I just wanted to clarify.
And the door's locked.
Just to make sure how. Yeah. Yes, I know. It was just to make sure that there was no way, because Galen wouldn't have left any other way into the room if there was or anything like that. Okay. So excellent, Galen interval.
They say you're the one in charge.
Of these 2 rooms, yes. Is there another person in charge of this area?
There was the LT, the lieutenant tactician, that was technically in charge. That Jake took command from.
That's fine. If he's in charge here, then I would say the LT.
Okay. Then they say, where are they? You gesture to that area. They're going to go off and have a conversation. Roll a perception check.
Yeah. Cool. Sorry, I didn't know that that person didn't go with Jake.
By the way, Vsword, thanks for the resub. I did not see that earlier. So, with your disgustingly high perception check, you're able to... my apologies. With your disgustingly high perception check, you're able to hear the conversation that's had in the other room. And it's not even that muffled. You can actually hear the conversation that they're having. So one of them comes in, and more or less like, Lieutenant Tactician, I have word from the Centurion of War. There are rumors, as they're handing over a letter, there are rumors that the battle commander has died. Is that in fact true? And yeah, Yeah, unfortunately, it has. Sorry, unfortunately, that has transpired. That did happen. Yeah, kind of like they're reading over the notice and whatnot, and they nod, saying, "All right, I'll have a full report put together, sent over to the COW." And the person says, "No, that's not what the notice says. You're not supposed to do a full report. The COW wants everybody to fall back on their point." Excuse me? The COW wants everybody to fall back on their point. But that doesn't make sense. The offices are here. There's countless important facts and whatnot that, like, we need to protect all the information that we have here. And they say, it's what the COW commanded. But why? You imagine there's a shrug or something because you can't see what's going on. Does that not seem like a foolhardy command? With all due respect, sir, I'm not going to question the command of my commanding officer. And there's like clearly a tone to it. And they say, yeah, no, I understand. It just seems dumb. Keep that between us. My apologies. Okay, then I will get everybody to move out. We'll head to where the COW is. They say, thank you, sir. If you can handle that, I now have to go and meet up with a few of the others. And then they say, very well. And they will turn and they go walk past you as they go to leave the offices area. Do you stop them at all or no?
So
this is the messenger, not the actual LT.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah, that's the issue. That he's not going to know any more information, unfortunately, and he's going to obey the Secretary of War.
So
I'm going to wait till the other guy comes out of the office to talk to us about what's going on.
So there's going to be like a minute passes, and the other one comes out, and it's kind of like stop in the doorway. And it's like they don't even notice you because they come out and they're like looking down, like they're clearly in their own head.
I'm gonna say LT a minute.
Huh? Yeah.
A moment, sorry, not a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I overheard what's happening.
He looks back at the doorway, looks back at you, and says,
"It's
well, that's say your point."
There is evidence here that they've already tried to remove once, and there's a body here of an assailant that attempted to assassinate me, and I am ordered by my commanding officer to guard it.
There's a pause, and he says, "You're not under my command."
I'll nod knowingly and smile. Good luck.
Yeah, same to you. It's a big building.
I know. And I'm actually, I'm actually gonna take, not even like hiding it from him. I'm gonna take one of the cure wounds potions and chug it down because I am expecting trouble now if this is what's happening.
Do you have any of the invisibility potions left?
No, I do not. But I can suit up and go close to, stealth pretty well.
Yeah, because you can guard these things not here as well.
Pardon?
I said you don't have to guard these things here. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
But you may be seen with a body, just so you know.
Yeah, if I tried to move it out, they're already suspicious of me already. So I think
there's going to be nobody here.
I'm gonna take where's my health? I'm gonna take 2 cure light rune potions just because I have them on they're my backups. They're not my like main ones. So how much are they?
1d8 plus 1. Potions?
1d8 plus 1, so it won't be much, but also 2d8 plus 2 I should do. Well, that's not bad. That's pretty good actually.
Yeah.
That'll do me.
That'll do, donkey.
And once he's pulled everyone out, I am gonna suit up and properly position myself ready for whatever's happening with Chameleon on and stealthed in that area. Not the
That's when the
Chameleon
looters
Stone, 'cause I
break
can't.
in. Alexa, play Doom Eternal soundtrack.
Yes.
Just like 25 commoners.
Oh god.
Tesh, do you have those papers with you that you saved from being burned?
Yes, so there's 2 rooms that I'm guarding. One that I'm at the door of, that's the body, and then just to the side there's the room where the papers were being burnt, and they tried to salvage everything they could, and they were in the process of doing that when you left. So I wouldn't have let them take the papers out of that room. Now.
Yeah. So would you have them on you, or would you have them in the room?
In the
room.
In the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they're in a state now at which I can gather them up, I would put them on me. If that's okay, Scott. Are they in a state now that I could gather them up?
I have no problem with that. 1 second.
Yeah, then I would do that just to make sure I'm guarding the door and the body as best I can right now, and the evidence and the body as best I can right now.
Yeah. Because if you get attacked by, say, another Loper or whatever, you got to run.
Yeah. Yes.
You
Exactly.
definitely gotta run. So
if it turns out that a Loper is doing this, then yeah, I gotta get the fuck out of Doge.
and at least you'll have the documents, and depending on not if you want to try it, take the body. But that'll be whatever you can do. I guess.
Yeah, that'll be how much heads up do I get? Do I get enough heads up to open the door or not? Basically.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I have everything pinged on. Unfortunately, because it's literally the worst possible situation, because I can't have Chameleon on. I don't have empowered blast, because all these things I turned off for the speed run at the Black Knight's headquarters. I turned off all these things that I can't turn back on until I sleep.
Yeah. Yep.
I still have flight though, flight and speed, so I'm fast and can fly.
Yeah.
So that's something. Okay, yep, that's I'm now. Yeah, I would have fully suited up, and oh my god, my stealth got absolutely butchered by fatigue. How much is it without fatigue?
Okay, sorry.
I'm curious. Oh, what? Wait, hang on, something's wrong. It's do I have the wrong armor on? No, something registering as medium armor. What's happening?
So something obscene has just happened. Something crazy. Let me move it right here so chat can see. If you actually look just past my my like over here in my bottom right hand corner, right above where it says my name, chat, you can see the cat is sitting on the beanbag that's right there. Like, look at that cute little kitty sitting on the beanbag. Brittany just came down. She pointed out at the cat and said, "The cat's in here." I'm like, "Yeah." I let her in, and she goes, "She looks really cute right there." I think it's the first time I've ever heard Brittany say the cat looks cute. So, I mean, I'm not.
She does look cute. How can she not look cute? Like when they like low fat.
See, I'm not a fan of cats, but like, they can be cute, right?
RT was so upset.
Brittany is like, why does the Tasmanian tiger have to die? Why can't we just kill out cats instead? Like, that'd be a better species to be extinct. So.
Shut down.
Okay.
RT was so upset the other day in the vets that she snuggled under her towel and only stopped, like, she stopped wiggling when I wrapped it around her head, so she sat there under it like. She's so cute. Sorry, Tesh.
That's okay. I figured out what was happening. I was experimenting with the different armors to see what like my stats were in all the armors, just so I could best decide what to do in the moment earlier. And it never registered that I took off my heavy armor, even though I did. So that's what was happening with my stats.
You all good now?
Oh, yeah, I'm all good now, Artie. Okay. And I put fatigue back on, so we're good.
Okay. So. Sorry, just took a bite.
Is that a bacon?
Actually, no, we're not. It's now decided I have the heavy armor on again. Why is it doing this? So I turn the heavy armor off and on.
Oh, they must have been out of jalapeno because this is spinach. Either that or she ordered a jalapeno and the person grabbed spinach by accident. Either way. Yummy.
There we go. Okay, so what does fatigue do to stealth exactly?
Nothing.
Nothing.
-2
It
dex,
directly affects your dex.
Yeah,
So
so
it
that's
reduces your
why
dex by
I'm
1.
wondering why it's affecting my
Modifier, I should
dex
say,
by
by 1.
4. There we go, 14. So that's correct. 14 is correct. It keeps randomly dropping down to 11 from 14, and I don't know why. Like without changing anything, it will just randomly drop to 11. Yeah, no, it's weird. 14 is what it's at with all my modifiers now.
I can probably answer that. If you have
everything.
another effect, let's say you have one effect that gives you a +1 dexterity, and you have another effect that gives you -2 dexterity, that give you a 3-point swing. If you don't differentiate what kind of an enhancement versus penalty versus, like, you have to name what kind of bonus it is.
Okay, I have. It's okay. The only enhancement to dex I have is enhancement to dex. It could be +2 to stealth. That could be it. That's right. I was for a second there. I was like, why do I have +2 to stealth on that? It's because Trailblazer, I get half my level added to stealth. Yeah, so it's okay. It's just being a bit buggy. If I do a stealth check, I'll just double check that it's 14 because that's what the modifier should be.
Okay. Cool. All right. Remember, they get together, the soldiers, and they leave, and they give you one last nod of good luck, and they walk off into
them as they go.
They walk off into the fog.
Yeah, that's fucking ominous as fuck.
And then you just hear metal grinding on the floor.
Oh god!
And then there's this pyramid shape appears.
So I'm gonna suit up.
It's silent.
I'm gonna suit up, go into the corner, assuming the way I'm imagining it is it's literally door, corner, door to the office that all the stuff's happening in. Is that how it's set up?
Mm-hmm.
Then I would be going into the core. I would be flying up into the corner here and stealthing. Right next to the door.
You're not going to. Okay, that's fine.
Cool. I'm not going to what?
Time passes. Roll me a perception check.
Cool. Yeah, I've deliberately got everything on that doesn't require extra points or anything, so I can do this as long as I need to. That's a low perception. I'm going to roll luck on that because I have a feeling this is important. Okay, I beat 20. 21.
You hear a banging noise. Not at the door that you're at by any stretch. Not in the room, not even in the offices.
But Viggo and the gnome.
From
Bridging the gap!
Professional courtesy! Go elbow deep. Oh.
Oh my god. That was not the direction I thought that was going.
I'm so sorry. I probably ruined just a tense moment.
Just think, Viggo's medium size, they're small size. All right.
But anyway, let's continue.
So yeah, you hear like a banging coming from outside, but again, not any of the door not the door to the office or any doors to the office, not like anything in the office area. Maybe a different part of this building.
So this is one of those situations where he's going to pay very close attention to it. He's not going to move yet.
Okay.
At the moment, he doesn't know whether this is a distraction. My current job is to guard this intel and the body. He'd like to help if it's someone else who needs it, but he's got a job to do.
After a little bit of time, the crashing stops, and you hear a group of cheering, like cheering happening.
Alexa, play the Doom Eternal soundtrack.
Oh dear. So does it sound? So I hear the cheering. Roughly, where do I think this is coming from in terms of the building? The front entrance, and entrance, the courtyard in the middle.
Out in the courtyard area. Beyond that, there's not much more that you can gather.
Is there anywhere where I can get a look out to that from without? I don't want to lose eye contact with the door specifically.
Fog, baby.
Shit. Then so with the area where the door is, Um,
And this isn't right away either. This is like
no,
maybe an
I
hour
understand.
plus.
This is time later.
Yeah.
So I to give me a better idea of in my mind the area that's got this door. Is it at the end of a corridor that's got the office and the door?
Remember, the building is C-shaped.
That's what I mean. I'm trying to picture where I am.
The door into the doors into the various parts of the building, the various buildings, if you will, are on the inner part of the C shape of the so in the courtyard.
Yeah.
The offices are on one
door,
end of the C. You're in one end of the C, and so you're there. It has one of the other doors in the courtyard. You don't know which one though.
Yeah. Well,
If not multiple.
I mean, I'm trying to place the current direct environment. So the door to the office that has all the BC's office and the evidence room is that at the end of a long corridor.
I understand. Yes, you're in a hallway. Yeah. So
yeah. I basically want to.
The BC's
so the only
office
entrance to this place is down that way, essentially.
Yeah.
Down the corridor.
If you would have to, so from if you wanted to stand directly in front of the door with the dead body, you would be able to see across the room ahead of you where you're coming into the offices in general.
Perfect. Okay, so basically I want to make sure that if I go towards the like a place where I can get a little bit of a better look, I'm not losing one sight of the door, and two, there's no other direction that they could come try that they have to get past me. They have to get past me to get to that door, essentially. That's I want to maintain that that's the most important thing right now is making sure if anyone wants to get to that door, they have to get past me. Now I have that aside, I'm moving towards that sort of door so I can get a little bit of a better look at what's going on if I can.
You can't see anything.
You
go over to like a window,
like
the window. You go over to a window that's nearby the front door, just to like look out there, and you can't see a thing. The fog is too thick. However, for listening, you already have your 21 there. For listening, you can hear that people are pretty happy. Like, yeah, get it all. Yeah, there's so many potions in here. Get the potions. You know,
they broke into the commissary.
Okay, so is there a window to the outside?
You are looking out a window to see just fog.
Can it be opened though?
Oh yeah.
Rip and tear. No, I'm gonna hopefully scare them, even though I don't have intimidate. But hopefully the voice and situation alone should be enough.
You walk out of the fog like this glowing crystal thing, and you just say "rip and tear."
Actually, is the window enough for me to get through?
Are you flying right now?
Yeah, I have flight on. Yeah.
If you open it, yeah, you'd be able to fly through it. It'd just be awkward to climb through.
Okay, I'm gonna double check that there's and I really want to double check that there's no movement on the floor that I am and where I am, because I'm not gonna go out this window for long. I just want to scare them off, hopefully, and then go back in.
There's definitely nobody's been in this place since they left you like an hour ago.
Cool. So open the door, like sort of, just in case someone looks up and sees because I assume even though there's fog, you can see like the sort of bit of. You would be able to see like maybe a silhouette or something moving in the fog above them, right?
If you're close enough.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to. It's not worth leaving the building then. I'm just going to yell out the window.
Get off my lawn!
Any pillaging of supplies will be promptly punished. And this is not a warning. This is life or death. Leave.
Go ahead and roll a intimidation check.
This is where I wish I had something to add to this roll, but I don't, because I don't have charisma. That's a 5.
Morning, Dad. Quick update. Poor Rory and Brittany are both sick with different things right now. Rory was out of school yesterday, out of school again today, and Britt had to visit a doctor yesterday. But the girls are on the mend, so that's good news. So a 5 for your intimidate. There's like a pause. And someone's like, you hear that? Yeah, what the fuck was that? I don't know, man. Maybe I should get out of here. Oh, Tony's, don't be such a... Yeah, you know what that was? I bet that was that spell. What spell? You know, the mouth. You know, they call it Neil's magic mouth.
I am going to... I'm firing an arrow into the smoke, into the mist. It's like,
oh my
straight
god, you're just
down.
gonna hear someone scream and be like, "Oh my
Wilhelm
god!"
scream.
Yeah, Wilhelm scream, and then someone be like, "Oh my god, he shot my 10-year-old."
Specifically, I'll say. Specifically, what I'll say
It's not
is
America.
You were warned. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
and I'm firing. an arrow.
Activate, and we send in the robots.
Okay.
Drop a bullet. No one get Robot Wars reference. Fine. Screw you all.
I have to take off point blank shot because it's not. I'm not using
First, he has
within
to
30 feet.
First,
I
he has to
assume.
choose a square. But he can't really see the squares, so that makes things really
The
difficult.
problem is
He
they all
randomly
look like
chooses a
you,
square.
Scott.
What I would do is I would try and fire it as directly down as possible, so the people that are directly breaking in right now are the only ones at risk of being hit. None of the ones that were like along with because they were sort of pressured into it. The ones that are actively climbing into the building while being warned.
I mean, you know where the
Directly
commissary
down
is.
into the head.
You guys already swung by the commissary once before or whatever, so you know where the commissary
Yeah,
is.
so I would be aiming for the
relation.
commissary. Yeah.
So you're trying to take aim at the square that has a commissary door to the best of your ability. You can go ahead and roll your
Yes.
attack roll, but do me a favor, roll with the -5.
That's perfectly fine with me. I can put that into range, right? And it will take it off, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it will. Nice. Perfect. Oop.
Okay, so 12 is what we're working with.
That's okay. I wasn't. It's, the point is, an arrow was launched there, and that's what. So they know that it's.
It's
mean
fine.
business.
They're commoners. They don't
It's
have
all-
an AC. This
It's
will
all
hit.
good. Now there's a 50% miss
It may
chance.
still hit. Yeah.
Ask somebody to roll any die you want, Tesh. Ask anybody to roll any die, and it's odd to hit.
I think it should be Norway.
Yeah, let
so
Norway
that he
do it,
might be
actually.
complicit in a civilian being harmed.
Yeah. Let Norway do it.
No,
I
that's cruel,
honestly
I'm sorry.
hope I miss because what I want to do is scare these people off. But at the same time, I've given them a warning. They know what they're doing. They're breaking into the military. They've been told that they will be. This is a life or death situation, and
It's
they
an odd.
stayed.
Okay.
Unlucky
So,
13.
If it hits them, that's it. It's their fault for staying
And the last
and
check.
breaking into the place in the first place.
Wait, does your dad just casually call you hot, Scott?
Thanks, Lucy. Thanks for the update.
Yeah, I know. Don't ruin it.
So do I roll damage?
Weird autocorrect though. So anyways, the no. Last thing I need from you is intelligence checks to make sure you remembered where that door is correctly.
Oh, okay. Yep. Okay.
All that's in your favor. Go ahead and roll.
Yep. Sorry to the individual, the looter, but you're a looter, so.
Holy fuck! Holy fuck! Like, They killed-
11 HP.
they killed Cindy! They killed Cindy!
Oh no.
I'm getting out of here. Yeah, me too. You can hear like a bunch of people like run away.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And I don't fire an arrow this time. I'm
Fires
just trying to
again.
get them to leave.
He's killed Tony this time.
No, I would be deliberately trying to get them to leave. I'm sad that I had to kill someone, but at the same time, if they looted the place,
You're
we don't know.
sad, Tesh, but Gallon isn't. We all
No,
know
Gallon
that Gallon's
100%
evil.
is not. Gallon's like, these people were fucking looting. They were warned. They shouldn't have done this.
And
Sort
I
of
mean-
thing.
An hour passes. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. As you go back to your same stationary defended area.
Yeah.
Like, let's not set you up for failure here.
Yep. Thank you. Let me remove modifiers that were added. Oh, that's a low one. God damn.
Do you want to luck that one?
Yeah. Oh, yay.
Jake's sitting here saying, "Can we get Cell to count out the use of this?"
Look.
I saw a face, Jake.
I am what I am, and I'm scared. Okay.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. They're literally put there. Actually, chat often gets annoyed if you don't use them. So
That's true.
I think Norway is having second thoughts after rolling that unlucky 13.
No way. I can't leave my post. I don't know what is and isn't a ploy. There's too much going on.
What if Cindy's fake? Which with a name like Cindy may be partially true.
That could 100% have been a ploy to get me away from my post. Like, I don't know.
The next thing you're
I
gonna
didn't
hear with this
see it
perception
happen.
check, he's gonna be like, "It's me, Cindy. I've been shot. Is anybody there? Anybody? I've taken an arrow to the knee."
I was an adventurer once.
But I'm alive. I really hurt. Is anyone able? It's like the Austin Powers sketch. I'm still alive.
No, so that would.
When that doesn't work,
happens,
I'm really hot.
I was gonna say, in that situation, what I would do is I would just send Virgil. I would send him to go investigate.
No,
what was happening.
that's not what happened. So
I know.
About an
hour
hour passes. Yeah, I'm not quite dead yet. About an hour passes when with your 18 perception check, you think you hear something outside. You think you hear talking and whatnot outside, but you can't make out what's being said. And so it's one of those like, shit, you check the doors, so on and so forth, and you start walking your way forward again just to make sure that things are good. When all of a sudden, smash, 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 3, well, I mean, it's Pathfinder, so they are alchemist fires, but otherwise Molotov cocktails, come smashing through the window into the office area.
Fuck. I'm turning around and sprinting for that door. I'm going to get that corpse out of here. Thank you for the idea of packing up the supplies. Yep.
So you go
trying to burn down the building.
You go to the door and you go to open it up. So you already rolled your 18 perception, so I'm going to roll with that one. As you move over back to the door, like shit, and you go over there before like the smell of that gets you. As you go to grab for the door, you can smell. I swear I smell honeysuckle.
Son of a bitch.
You open the door?
Yeah.
You open the door. Inside the door, you see a very familiar looking creature, though not the same person as before. They are still lying dead on the table, as there is someone else that's standing inside there. A woman. At least you're pretty sure it's a woman. Standing there.
Cindy?
Standing there, similar to the one that you had fought beforehand, with a degree of robes, if you will, on them. And their hand is over the body that's on the ground, that's lying on the table that you have inside there. And when you come bursting through the door, they're looking up at you, and as you come bursting through, they're already kind of like holding their hand out to kind of react to your bursting in. But because your perception check allowed you to smell them before you went in there, you are not caught off guard. It's going to be an equal initiative roll.
Okay. Fuck. Okay.
What was my tab?
All the buffs are in. All the buffs are in.
You just can't catch a wind, can you?
Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, beautiful. Good. That's good for me.
I am so mad right now.
Where's... Why can't I find what I'm looking for?
Round two, except I'm fucked.
Chat, I'd like to once again ask for your financial support and just play an scene at this point.
I'm so mad about this.
And scene,
Like,
man.
when
I think the only person
have
that
we
can do
ever
that is
had an
Anno.
and scene?
Never once, because I think Anno's the only one that can do it. Oh, are we on different screens? I think we're on different screens. No, we're together. Then why don't I see your one? Did you not highlight your mini?
Oh, I might not have highlighted my mini, my bad.
Oh, that's
I guess he'll have to re-roll.
No. I got it. All right, cool. So they look at you, and as you come bursting in, they see you standing there, and they say, "You're a curiosity that will be handled shortly." And then as their hand is hovering over the body, you can see they kind of like lift their arm up a little bit, and they rise the body, and then they just kind of step backwards as once same as before. Oh, that wasn't you guys that noticed that before.
Yeah, they're gonna dimension door out. I get it.
They step backwards as seeming to kind of like phase through reality as they step back, and they are able to phase away.
Tesh, as they're leaving, just say, coward.
Fuck. This is. I can't do anything to stop them either, can I?
Wow! Wow!
What happened? Wait, what happened?
Scott.
Holy shit! I just saw chat. God damn. See, Scott's there like, fuck, what do I do?
What happened?
I have a feeling that those bits Vsword just dropped were...
there may have been a fortune's favor.
Holy shit, Vsword. Thank you.
And scene is like $2,700 for me. Jesus.
Yeah. It's
God,
meant to be a go F yourself. Like it's meant.
Oh,
to
and it's also in Norway. I spoke to my other Norwegian friend recently who just built a PC, and he got a 3090 graphics card, which is insanely expensive anyway for people because of the card shortage. But like being in Norway, that was
a lot more.
Incredible how much it costs.
It's one of those things where you're almost like, can you pay a friend and have them ship it to you? No, don't break international laws.
Oh,
but you know.
Damn. Well, Snaga, damn.
Okay, so
in that case.
Okay. Well,
Scott needs to give all bits by daddies by hand. I think the
I'm giving it to her right now. But either way,
I'm sorry. I wasn't rushing. I was just explaining.
But yeah, either way, the end scene. It's meant to be one of those ones where it's
of
like,
course.
Oh,
you don't want it. You don't want it to be attainable easily, do you?
Yeah. It's meant to be like okay, nobody's ever gonna play this. And I think the only person, I'll look right now. I'll check him right now. His name is I don't know. I think he's the only one because he's saved them. Yeah. He has 34,000 because there was a birthday stream a long time ago where he kind of went ham and then just never spent all of them. He's just held them since then. And he's like waiting for that moment for when he can just have some fun with it.
He's got the power.
Yeah. So, but and scene, it's something that used to exist in a different system and so on and so forth. Either way, that's where the idea came from. Continuing. So the person steps out of reality and there's nothing you can do about it, Tesh. You can literally see that person is stepping out of reality. And as they step out of reality, there's a moment where like their whole body, like their foot steps out of reality as they're going out. You can see that their leg disappears as they pull their body backwards. You can see that their back, their ass, their shoulders, all that stuff goes through. And they start like leaning their body out and they start pulling their leg back when all of a sudden the entire portal seems to snap shut because you see from just below, like halfway up the shin and just above the wrist, the arm and leg fall off and the body drops.
Holy shit.
Let's hope that person doesn't have access to regeneration. That's hilarious. Though.
I would say,
that's so good.
Holy shit.
Yep.
And I would grab the body and the pieces.
So you go like, holy shit, you're going to pick up the body. And as you go to pick up the body, you can see the body itself starts like, you go to pick it up. And all of a sudden, as you're like throwing it over your shoulder, it just gets really light.
Like floating.
And then it rises up off of your shoulder. It's like, and it kind of like reorients itself. Do you say that out loud? Convenient?
Wait.
It's like a balloon. You can tie a rope to it and walk around the city.
Wait, he reorientates itself with where he stopped.
Yeah. It reorients itself. Yep.
As in, like, is it alive again?
No, reorients itself in a way to like a board.
Oh, like, okay, good. Fucking. He's not gonna question it. He thinks spell, grabs the shit and starts pulling it out like under
Do you
an
say
arm,
the word convenient? Was that said aloud?
Would say convenient.
Oh yeah. He's like, like first jumps back. He's like, convenience, and you then you would hear, not in your minds but out loud, you would hear, It's an ability you could have learned if your mind opens that way. Turn around.
It's what's her face. It's what's her face. Trained you.
What's his face? 13's behind you.
Oh,
fuck! Fantastic timing. We need to go.
Unfortunately, your use of your abilities has made you detectable. We're going to have to find a way to keep that under wraps. But for now, you're right. We do need to go. The locals are having their way with this building.
We can talk about this later. As he's like finishing that up, I'm like, oh, yeah. So you knew about? We can talk about this later. We gotta go.
He just kind of stops for a second and just says, "Open your minds to me."
He would.
He searches through, and there's like kind of like you see lots of flashes popping up of like the things that you've done recently. So more or less like how you got here, where you were staying, who you came with, focused on who you came with. Tristan, the name, the details you know about Tristan, minor bits of conversation. That one time you accidentally walked in and him pooping. You know, there's there's like Viggo, and then it jumps to that scene of Viggo of him telling you where he's going and what happened recently. And then when he goes over like that sort of a detail, he then just kind of like pops out of your minds. And then he looks outwards, and you can see he's kind of like stretching out with his minds through other areas in the city. And he says, "Then we know where to bring you. With officers there, it's very unlikely they will act. They won't want themselves to be noticed." And so he'll place a hand on your shoulder and say, place a hand on your shoulder, and more or less you could feel a power wash over you. And he you know, this is probably when you pick up those body parts or whatever that you said you were doing. And then he'll say, "Follow me," and similarly opens up like a portal that you guys step through. And it's kind of like one of those out of body experiences as you transport yourselves through the astral plane. It's like this weird, strange, jerking, like out of body experience that all of a sudden your whole body appears where it's supposed to go. So Viggo, you're standing there having a conversation with the gnome.
I'll say one thing to note. Given this is something that would be with Galen and the fact that 13's here, he would probably feel safe enough to drop the armor before they go through, because of 13's here. So he feels relatively safe in this situation.
I wonder if 13 is really going to dump you in front of everyone with the gnome there and everything. The AC. That would be interesting.
Yeah. So you're sitting there having a conversation with the gnome. It's one of those fun things where like your conversation has just gotten into like side banter where, as you were saying beforehand, it's almost one of those weird moments where you're like, I'm not supposed to like this guy, but he's so damn likable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just feel that chemistry. And you're an alchemist, so you know what chemistry is.
Sorry, I just love the idea in front of Regicide. Here, I found you a loafer. What? Hold up.
So you guys are literally having a conversation about a particular spell, and he's like, "No, you see, you have to understand this particular exam. Unfortunately, I failed the exam because I didn't know how to modify the spell that I was casting with additional reagents, and I've always been told by my grandmother, who you can never satisfy, that the reason why, new badge, V-Sword, woo! I've always been told by my grandmother, who you can never satisfy, that if you had a strong fundamental understanding of how it is that the alchemy worked, I would actually be able to use these additional reagents to make my spells different. Like, for instance, when you're casting a magic missile, it not only can it make more missiles, but it also has the ability to phase through objects on its way to its target, or perhaps it has more of an impact when it hits, and so on and so forth. But no, of course, he's kind of like explaining these details, and this is for you. It's like interesting that alchemy can modify spells, but at the same time, again, it's like, you enjoying the conversation, but you don't like the fact that you're talking to a wizard about wizardy stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like talking to somebody who is like way too much of a history buff of the Confederacy. You're like, I'm enjoying the conversation, but why do you know this much about the Confederacy?
Yeah.
So anyways, my grandpappy. Ah!
Oh no.
Jonathan Davis. Uh-oh. Dad, where'd you get your name from?
Yeah.
Dad, are you still here? Where'd you get your name from, Dad? Where'd you get your name from? Is there anybody named Jonathan in our lineage? Anyways. For those of you that don't know, Jonathan Davis is the president of the Confederacy. So, also the lead singer of Korn. So, yeah, he's timeless.
One and the same?
Yeah.
What was I
Moving on. So while he's having this conversation, all of a sudden, the air fills with the smell of honeysuckle, which I don't think that has a bearing for you yet. Fills the air of honeysuckle as all of a sudden you see a body appear before you, a somewhat disoriented, what's his name? Gallon appear before you, holding two body parts that are bleeding. And just kind of like slowly oozing out blood because there's no like force to it. There's no heart, in an arm or a leg. And then and then
I can't deal with the AC with
a strange creature.
I really can't.
Mm-hmm. And the gnome is standing right there. So all of a sudden they just come appear, and the gnome's like, and like I said, as they just appear.
So first, there's thump, like I assume the body thumps to the ground now that we're here. So wait, thump.
Not a thump because he's controlling it. He'll lower it.
Oh, okay, so it lands, and then it's just like
on the bed, even.
Looks around the room, looks to Viggo, looks to the gnome. In head, fuck. Back to Viggo.
Viggo's wide-eyed, just staring at you.
And you also see
are under attack. The headquarters are under attack by civilians, I think. But whoever this is, a friend tried to reobtain them.
If I may, my time is limited, and I cannot have you be noticed. I'm going to look into finding what is it called? Begins with a D. A Dorge for you. That will help you to hide your abilities, so you're not as easily noticed as you.
And I'm hearing this in my head.
Nope, aloud.
Oh, he's here.
So
he's here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's physically there with you.
Oh, he's here.
Yeah. I said you see Obstacle 13 as well.
Okay. Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
So he says, if I may, because my time is limited.
Yeah, I would send a message when I arrived to. I would send the Virgil would message Viggo saying, "Viggo, this is 13. Don't say it out loud.
Yeah.
Just so you know who you're dealing with."
My time is limited. I will find. I will try to find a Dorge for you that will help you to mask your abilities. But in the meanwhile, you need to lie low. Disable your armor. Disable your abilities. Keep none of them active. As long as they are there, you are a beacon, and they're able to sense you. Stop using them for the time being. Looks over to the Congress member and says, "It's a pleasure," and then turns and and walks away, like literally just kind of steps back through. The gnome looks at it and says, "That was not any spell I know. That was illegal use of magic." Looks over to Viggo, who he's been friendly with, who obviously wasn't a part of it and looks like shocked as well.
Yeah.
And looks over to Gallon and says, "You, sir, are going to have to answer some questions."
They could wait. Right now, the headquarters are under attack by, I think, civilians. They already tried to break in once, but alchemist fire was thrown inside. And I look to the body and just say, someone tried to reacquire this.
This is a gnome will like take two steps over and look at it and like raise an eyebrow like, what is that? That must be Hafue magics used on an old parent.
Gallon, secure this body. We're about to talk
Understood.
to the commander.
I would start like picking up the body and putting it over my shoulder like I was planning to before all this happened. And I would open
All right,
the
you
door.
can put the leg and the arm in like a pocket on each ear. Yeah, each side.
Yeah.
As you walk out.
And then I would find like a room that I can lock down in this place just because shit's happening. I just need to find a room. This time I'm staying in the fucking room.
Apparently, I'm being yelled at by my bosses that I need to be on a call.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I have to end ASAP. So.
Oh, okay. Well.
Yeah. Well then.
Okay, so just to end it off, I lock myself in a room and I would inform Viggo which room and that I'm locking myself in the room this
So
time.
he locks himself in the room with the body and body parts.
Yeah, look, he's not taking the fucking risk this time. He'll also actually have like weapons out this time, because he's not going to use his psionics.
Well, I'm sorry that you got that rude disturbance, Scott.
Yeah,
Thanks,
it's
Chad.
life.
Yeah, that's a shame.
I gotta go.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Chat.
Thanks,
Chat
Chad.
next
We'll see you
week.
next
Bye.
week. Bye.